Major population centres are on alert, with Sydney facing a catastrophic fire danger for the first time. The RFS says the Greater Sydney, the Greater Hunter and the Illawarra and Shoalhaven areas are all facing a catastrophic fire condition today. Catastrophic is the highest fire danger rating. The RFS says it's as bad as it gets, off the conventional scale. If you are in an area facing catastrophic fire danger, leave early, and that is the only option available to you. Do not wait to see what happens. If a fire takes hold in catastrophic conditions, lives and homes will be at risk. Peter Stefanovic is in Taree for us this morning, where we begin our coverage. Pete?
Yeah, good morning, Laura. I've got to say that Daily Telegraph headline, "Brace for Impact," is how a lot of people are feeling right across the state today, not just in that Greater Sydney and the Hunter region where that level is catastrophic, but also north to the mid-north coast here where the fire danger is extreme. Now here, conditions have eased somewhat. They became a little bit cooler overnight, which meant that firefighters were able to get the upper hand and get control of a lot of fires that were out of control. But further north, Port Macquarie, Wallhope, still a lot of fires that are burning out of control. Now, the great fear is that when that southerly buster pushes through later on this evening, there is a fear, when it comes to the RFS anyway, that those fire fronts could join forces. They could merge and kind of create this super fire that could cross the Pacific Highway and start heading towards coastal areas. So that's the concern in the mid-north coast at the moment, and still, obviously, that greater concern around the Greater Sydney, the Illawarra, Shoalhaven and Hunter regions, as Gabrielle Power explains.
The fire danger is at a level worse than originally forecast.
I've been in this industry for 40 years and I have not seen a scenario like this before.
Declarations of a catastrophic fire danger are in place for Greater Sydney, the Greater Hunter and Illawarra Shoalhaven region. The Rural Fire Service says it's as bad as it gets.
We will be more than doubling our standard response to any calls to bushfires in those areas to ensure that we have sheer weight of numbers to try and make sure that we contain fires quickly.
The Rural Fire Service Commissioner has been handed emergency powers to control and coordinate government resources. Firefighters are facing challenging conditions, battling blazes fuelled by strong, dry winds and high temperatures. It's sparking serious fears. Lives and properties could be at risk, but many have little left to lose. Residents already abandoning everything they have as they flee from the fires.
It's countless possessions, memories, a home, you know, the dog's bed, his toys. He doesn't understand what's going on. I know there's people who've lost a lot more, and families and lives, but it's just that sudden helplessness.
The government has declared a week-long state of emergency and a total fire ban is in place across New South Wales. The Defence Force is also prepared to assist with evacuations. Residents are being warned not to be complacent. Authorities say it's a case of be prepared or be at risk. Gabriella Power, Sky News.
Well, as we know now, the authorities say it has never been this bad. It is totally unprecedented, and the Department of Education is certainly not taking any chances when it comes to conditions today. So it's closed many schools, upwards of 550 across New South Wales, TAFEs as well. That involves about 100,000 students, as Charlotte Mortlock explains.
Hundreds of schools and TAFE campuses across New South Wales will be closed on Tuesday following the catastrophic fire risk assessment from the RFS. The Department of Education says it's a necessary measure to ensure the safety of students and staff and includes schools in the most at-risk bushfire areas in Sydney, including the Upper North Shore, western suburbs, southern suburbs and the Blue Mountains. New South Wales Education Minister Sarah Mitchell says more schools could be added to the list. She's urging parents to check for regular updates on the Education New South Wales website. Emu Plains will be one of the hottest suburbs in Sydney, with the mercury set to peak at 38 degrees and winds averaging around 50 kilometres an hour throughout the day.
Today also marks the end of HSC exams for 2019, but with more than 40 schools closed between Port Macquarie and Lismore, some students will be forced to sit their final exam at a later date.
The RFS is urging anyone who lives near bushland to spend the day at a shopping centre or the beach. Charlotte Mortlock, Sky News, Sydney.
So it is that very dreadful weather cocktail today, Laura, not just those hot conditions, but also those strong winds, that low humidity, coupled with, of course, we talk about this all of the time, the drought conditions out there. Very, very worrying indeed.